I loved the irreverence of this piece and the raw quality to the animation. It felt like very classic Adult Swim like animation. Really unexpected, and but it had that hint of having a heart. So you felt safe with it, and then it went playful and went off the rails again. And I loved that as well. I do see a big future for this one. I thought all the characters were really funny. They played with one another really well, and I thought the comedy was whip smart and quick and uh, yeah, unexpected.
Reminds me a lot of Adult Swim concepts. Like it might even be the bumper music of Adult Swim at the end of this piece, but it has a clear appreciation to those types of concepts and a clear sense of the animation style, and in particular the kind of characters that would be at the center of this and the kind of humor that would be there. And I thought that the piece was very consistent with that approach, especially with the conceit around villains taking care of a baby and a sort of a mixing of what you would think were childish ideas with very dark ideas to mine the humor. I thought the piece was very effective. There are a lot of bits towards the end that were funny. The circumcision bit, a lot of the banter between the characters, I thought had a really great sense of comedic timing, and I thought the piece really just had a sense of identity that worked quite well, and it was clear that there was an intent stylistically and conceptually that I thought worked well combined. So it was a strong concept for me, especially in a short amount of time, only I believe less than 10 minutes. I thought it worked really well in sort of establishing the kind of characters and the kind of humor you would expect and the type of plot lines that you would expect in this type of piece.
I think it had a really interesting, almost British and Adult Swim type of humor to it. I think the pacing was engaging to it. I think it moved very quickly, but in a way that was very methodical, and it enhanced the comedy of this. Stylistically, I think it was really fun. The story was really interesting, and you pack a lot in there. Joke-wise, you pack a lot in there as well. And I think it was just a really interesting watch.
There are definitely similarities and inspirations from shows such as Futurama or Rick and Morty, two very successful animated series. This is a group of subpar villains being uh, deemed the task to take care of this baby. There are acts and situations that they find themselves pawning off the child to the next demon. It's really interesting to have their boss come in at the end, only for them to kind of toss the baby out the window, like literally toss the baby out the window, as if it wasn't a second thought. And it's kind of interesting to see this one character be deemed the only one to really have a moral compass within the bunch. Um, and they all have this commonality of kind of laughing at the same joke of having butterfingers and losing the baby after discovering that the baby is already circumcised. So there are lots of bits and pieces of jokes embedded into this piece. So to kind of hit all of these notes of what would be kind of a sitcom, it's all about making sure you punch in as many jokes as possible, and I think this short definitely achieves that goal.
The one villain was trying to hand off the baby to the British guy, and he said something about, I'm the only human here and you're British, which made me kind of chuckle. And then he's backing out of the room slowly, made me laugh. There's some things like that that were funny to me. When he was giving the tour to the baby and he's like, this is the pain room and the pleasure room, made me laugh.
And it feels like an Adult Swim type of animation, it's just because it's so random with the story, with the characters, everything. It's not really a story that feels like it blends very well, but just a cute little skit instead.